Hello there, everybody. How goes your today, Thursday / Friday, wherever you are in the world? Hope it's a good one. A little disclaimer before I get going today. You're probably going to hear there's a thunderstorm outside my place. So if stream dies, just assume that my power went off. And if the storm's permitting, I'll come right back. So don't worry too much about it. Yeah. Today, 3.0 ends. There's not too much left from what I remember. So we're going to finish that. Probably do a little bit of 3.1. I just brain farted hard there, sorry. Edit. Because we're technically not at the end of Heavensward. We're at the end of the base game, not 3.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Those come later. But anyway, for now, let's do the thing, shall we? Oop, I did not mean to click that. All the people, unfortunately, selling their runs, which technically not allowed, but not for me to decide. It's for those who actually get paid to do so, to bonk those people. We have a fancy new airship called the Excelsior, it seems. Because literally the quest text says the first flight of the Excelsior. So let's hop aboard. Go to Azazla. Work on the Enterprise is nearly complete, yet your Stola know to make ready.
Until but recently, the Ishgardians have kept their doors firmly shut to outsiders. But thanks to you, we have found in them stout allies with whom we may fight to secure the future of the realm. Truly, you are the beacon of hope towards which all men are drawn.
Spare us the hyperbole. 'Tis not for praise that we fight.
Oh? In light of all we have achieved, I felt it only meet to express my gratitude.
All that we have achieved? Spoken like a true outsider. Until the war is over, we have achieved nothing.
At a point.
The coming battle is a chance to excise the root of this conflict. And by my hand it shall be done. Then you may speak of achievement.
'Twas not mine intent to make light of your struggle. If I have given offense, then I apologize. But if I may speak freely, you would do well to be wary of the eye. Even now, it burns with insatiable hatred, watching unblinking for a sign of weakness. Should you falter for so much as a moment, it will surely consume you.
Save your concern. I will consume the eye ere I let it consume me.
Where is he going? We're about to leave, aren't we?
"12 be praised, thou hast not yet set forth. Across sand and snow have I journeyed, that I might deliver this gift unto thee.
White or a sight. But whence did it come?
To mine amazement, it lay hid amongst Moonbreeder's last effects. 'Twas but blind chance or providence that I did hap to spy it. Let no man claim that my late friend e'er erred for lack of foresight. In the place whither thou goest, servants of darkness do lie in wait. Pray, give unto me thy pledge that thou wilt strike them down and avenge our fallen comrade.
Still saying the same thing as they did yesterday. I think we're ready. Well, minus Justinian, who kind of took off somewhere else, and damn it. I'm sorry for having that up. I'm an idiot. Let us go, Linkus. Oz's law awaits.
Ah, excellent timing. We've just finished our work on the Enterprise. She's so much improved, I've decided to give her a new name to suit. The Enterprise Excelsior. Or simply the Excelsior if pressed for time. Once again, she'll carry Eorzea's protectors into battle. All aboard!
I can do no more than see you off with prayers for your safety and success. Yet know that wheresoever you may go, my son's spirit goes with you. May the Fury grant you strength.
Return to us, all of you. Enterprise Excelsior. Engage.
Said the thing.
This is it! Get ready!
Eye of mine enemy, render unto me thy power!
Okay there, buddy. That's pretty loud thunder. You were floating my cup.
No, you will not claim me. I am the master.
We're through!
It's a big boat. For the second time, we help our enemies unintentionally.
Chief, we've got an Imperial battleship on our tail. And it's bleeding massive.
Damn it! The bastards were waiting for us to open the door for them. I'm gonna try to shake them. Hang on to something.
We're all going to die! Tataru!
She won't take much more of this!
The time is come to use Hydaelyn's gift.
What?
Much blood has been spilled in my name. And for what? For a false cause that I created for want of the warmth of companionship. Saint Shiva, pray Svelga. Pray forgive this fool. But even now, I cannot let go of my dream. My dream of a tomorrow in which no child need freeze alone in the snow.
Unexpected allies. That's always good.
Is that Azelle? What does she mean to do?
O goddess, born of mine own hopes and dreams, for the last time, I beseech you, fill this vessel with your light, still the hatred within our hearts, and bless us with eternal grace!
gonna be wanting an Imperial airship. But she's defenseless. Yep.
Farewell, warrior of light. And thank you for showing me the way.
No!
This ether. It was a crystal of light. She, too, was one of Hydaelyn's chosen.
Fare you well, my lady.
So ends Ysael's story. I don't know about you, but I'm glad to be back on solid ground, even if said ground is floating in the sky. With that Imperial airship, when that Imperial airship appeared, I honestly thought we were finished, and we would have been, had your friend not arrived when she did. 12 Granto Mercy. Brief though our time together was, Ysael was a true friend, a gentle soul who fought for her beliefs. See, she would have made us fine scion. What a scion? What is a scion but one who fights for our cause? Our hopes survive thanks to her sacrifice. Let that be enough. Yet I cannot help but wonder, what came she to know of our presence here? From Racefolger, I would wager, you would have felt my channeling of the Eye's power. It would seem they were able to make peace with one another in the end. She gave her life because she believed in us. We owe it to her to see our mission through. See that dome-like structure further in? Let's make our way there. Hi, Geralt. The Owl Sentinels don't seem to frequent this area. Should be safe here. Let's talk strategy, shall we? Very voice those, but eh. First of all, in the interest of efficiency, I suggest we make this place our base camp. We can coordinate the search for the Archbishop from here. I have no objections. Now that we stand upon Az's law, I'm struck by the vastness of the Isle. We must needs be methodical if we are to find our quarry. Good. Now, unless I'm mistaken, this used to be an This used to be an airship landing, and a major one at that. From what I know of Allegan design, there should be a terminal nearby that's linked to the Isle's operational heart. If we could find such a terminal, we should be able to learn something of the Archbishop's whereabouts. Let's split up and look for it. The Empire borrowed most of its technology from Allegan relics. If we can find a terminal, I reckon we can operate it. I dare say this landing could accommodate even a Ragnarok-class vessel. Remarkable. Machines are beyond my ken. I shall leave it to the others to find this terminal. Of more concern to me are the dragons that I sense nearby. See anything you should have. Alas, I have found naught of use. Well, you're blind, so that's why. Nothing? Damn it. It's just this terminal then, but it doesn't respond to anything I do. Any bright ideas, Wedge? Wedge? He was here just a moment ago. Oh, don't tell me he's wandered off. I'm sorry, Linkus, but can you help me search for him? Absent-minded as he is, I worry that he strayed beyond the landing area and made friends with the local sentinels. Where'd you go, Wedge? Something fell. Ow! Wedge, are you alright? I'm fine, Chief. I just tripped, that's all. Fool of a Lalafell. What were you thinking coming here on your own? Death by overwork is one thing, death by stupidity quite another. I'm sorry, Chief, but I think I found something. What is it? A wreck of a sentinel? This is no wreck, Chief. She's still operational. Just kick it. See? Blip. Initiating. Performing diagnostics. Blip. Diagnosis to complete. To proceed, please agree with the terms and conditions of use. Sure. Thank you. To register as a user, please state your name. I'm Wedge, and that there is Linkus. But user registration complete. Registration complete. Welcome to Az's Law, Master Wedge and Master Linkus. I am Guidance Node GLI. feeling sick. Not quite what I had in mind, but it might just serve. Witch, bring the note this way, would you? There's something I'd like to try. Node, I need a status report on the facility. Gilly, you have to do as the chief says. Yes, that's it. Good girl. Ah, here we are. Not much of note. It appears someone recently reactivated Helix, which is this area. Reactivated, you say? By the Archbishop, I'd wager. I dare say he woke the place up when he used the Vanu's key. Is there any other people in the facility? If so, where? Let's see here. On the flagship, as the Central Owl, I'm seeing positive readings within the Ethereochemical Research Facility and the Fractal Continuum. And what have we here? Intruders detected in the Gamma Quadrants. Defense system engaged. Our Imperial friends, I suspect. I hope they enjoy the defense system. What of the Archbishop and his cronies? What might offer an indication? Ah, how about this? Which area is currently consuming the most energy? Somewhere called Triad Control inside the research facility. And what manner of place is that? It is, and I quote, a regulation facility for the Warring Triad test subjects. And that's all it says. The rest of the information is only accessible to users with consulate privileges. I mislike the sound of this, which leads me to believe that it is indeed the place. I am inclined to agree with Shastola. Whatever it is that the Archbishop seeks, it is like to be there. That settles it then. Let's find a way to cross over to the flagship. One lap around, not voicing everybody. Oh, this note turned out to be more useful than I expected. A few years back, Wedge decided he wanted a dog. And when we said no, he sulked for a bleeding month. Gilly's a good girl. Isn't she a good girl? Warring Triad puts me in mind of a tale from my childhood, told of three gods locked in perpetual conflict. The Warring Triad, I somehow doubt they are amenable to negotiation. And the Fury's name is that thing. Look, greetings, Master Linkus. Is there something you wish to know? Tell me how to reach the flagship. What? Requesting access to the Ethereochemical Research Facility. Access granted. Generating route. Whoop. Route generated. Commencing guidance to chosen destination. Please be aware that the designated route may take you through restricted sectors, and that the Isle's defense system may attempt to terminate you. Be kindly reminded that, in accordance with the terms and conditions of use, you and your party assume all risk of damage or injury, including death, that may occur en route to your destination. Yay. First Maggie and now Gilly. We should have let him have that dog. Promise me you'll take good care of Gilly. Don't let any harm come to her. Though we know little of Onward, we still know less of the facility and lodge. Let us see where it leads us. So we gotta follow that thing? I shall leave you to deal with it. Can the guidance node be trusted? I know not, but we have few other options. Let us see where it leads us. Linkus, Yastola, Estinian, we four shall proceed to the research facility. Sid, the Excelsior is our sole means of escape. Pray, remain here and have her ready to depart at a moment's notice. Understood. We'll see that she's repaired and ready to fly. If anything happens, just let me know via link room. Be on your guard, my friends. The enemy could be anywhere. Off to one of the best zone music in the game, in my opinion. Probably get you to like fly up there. Okay. Also, it would appear a certain individual is back. We have scarce begun and it already leads us to a dead end. We have to notice further instructions for us. If I am not mistaken, this is some manner of teleportation device. You are currently within the Alpha Quadrant. First, you must use the nearby matter conduit to travel to the Beta Quadrant. Please wait a moment while I activate it. Say the same stuff, so okay, confirm. Teleporter. It's certain it is wise to trust us all but our lives. That note is not what it seems. We missed some metal, since the gaze of a living being. Have care around it. The matter conduit appears to operate on the same principle as the Aetherites. How remarkable that it should still function after all this time. According to my records, this conduit was last serviced approximately 5,014 years ago. 5,014 years, 6 months, 11 days, 7 hours, and 13 minutes ago. That it should function without mishap may be described as a miracle. We have plot armor. Blip. Resuming guidance to the Aether Chemical Research Facility. Please follow me. This sector, the Beta Quadrant, is home to laboratories which produce chimerical life forms for both military and household applications. Our facility has been awarded 3-star certification for compliance with ASO-3001. The good behavior of the creatures born here is guaranteed. Please be warned, however, that millennia of neglect may have had an adverse effect on their disposition. For your own safety, please refrain from approaching the creatures. He might be angry. So, better question is, how does anything live on this place when it's barren of anything? Oh, hey, that's a hunt. Probably should report that. I was beginning to try my patience. The Allegons did not respect life. Brilliant as they were, I could not bring myself to respect them. The area teems with chimerical creatures, beyond your gods. What? Unable to activate matter conduit. Energy shortage detected. Identifying cause. Cause identified. Unauthorized siphoning of energy by chimerical creatures. Locations: the recombination labs and the biomass incubation complex. Time is short. Let us split up and eliminate the culprits. Linkus, pray dispatch the creatures at the recombination labs. Why is that word so hard? The rest of us shall sweep the incubation complex. Take care and return hither when you are done. I hope blow this Sprout's mind by one-shotting it. Chimera first. Always Chimera first. Machines are not to be trusted, least of all those that can think. Alpha Nu has come far. Master Louis Swab will be proud. While facing the chimerical creatures, at a moment of inspiration, I feel I have attained a better affinity with arcane entities. So you leveled up? Blip! Energy restored to the conduit. Please wait a moment while I activate it. Oh, found the Imperials. So the Gallians managed to land. Repairs on their vessel appear to be well underway. I doubt they will leave anytime soon, however. Nay, they will remain here long enough after they have stripped the Isle of all its secrets. Whether or not they mean to linger, their presence here and now is an unwelcome complication. Indeed, let us avoid confrontations unless absolutely needful. Basically saying, let's get the hell out of Dodge before we get spotted. Warning. Intruders detected in force in this quadrant. It is recommended that you avoid confrontation where possible. Be kindly reminded that, in accordance with the terms and conditions of use, you and your party assume all risks of damages or injury, including death, that you may sustain in this course of guidance. Please follow me to the next matter conduit. It leads to the Delta Quadrant, where the facility's greatest achievement is located. Big boat. The 6th Legion has long been the favorite of Emperor Vars. It is the Iron Fist with which he crushes uprisings. These soldiers bear the signal of the 6th Legion, ordinarily deployed within Ilzabard. They're certainly a long way from home. Wait, something is afoot.
Our objective lies at the heart of the Isle. The 3rd will remain to guard the ship. while the second patrols the perimeter and eliminates any threats. The first will come with me to secure the research facility. Let no man doubt the import of our mission. The Allagans found a means to capture Icons alive, and their knowledge lies hid upon this isle. If we can but acquire it, we would be able to prevent the beings from returning to plague us, thus ending the cycle of rebirth. I need not remind you that success will raise our Legion high in the Emperor's regard. Yet, by the same token, his radiance does not tolerate failure. That is all. All troops, prepare for deployment!
So that is their purpose.
To think that the knowledge used to bind no less a being than Bahamut sleeps here.
Imprisoning a primal in such a manner would represent an effective means to halt the cycle of summoning, were it not for the grave and obvious risks.
Yee.
Indeed. We need but refer to past experience, that of Bahamut's calamitous return, to see why this is not the solution we seek.
Held in duress, a primal will continue to nurse its hatred for mankind. And when it inevitably breaks free, its rage will be beyond quelling.
Capturing it, all it does is piss it off.
Whatever folly the Garleans mean to commit, they can wait. We must remain focused on our task.
Yes, of course. It would not be polite to keep the Archbishop waiting.
Up we go and out of here. Oh, excuse me. I came out of nowhere. What you have survived to this point is a defiance possibility, but it appears that the danger is not yet passed. Blip, blip, warning! Intruder is approaching. Please eliminate him if you wish to proceed.
That would explain my men's silence. We meet again. And this time, we will not be interrupted. Come! Show me your power, champions of Eorzea!
And we're gonna fight him. Alright. Icon Slayer. Impress me.
I shall make it quick.
Surely you can do better than that. I say to you, Lord Van Hydrus. Novel choice sword. Leave the rank and file to us. Focus on the Legatus. I mean...
So it comes to this!
I need air support, now!
I had heard the tales of your strength, warrior of light, and now that I have experienced it firsthand, and Baelsar's defeat seems less inexplicable. You are a formidable foe, and I have thoroughly enjoyed our time together. Alas, all good things must come to an end. Allagan's secrets await, and there is no profit to be had in remaining here.
Keep them occupied.
Coward.
It would seem we have no choice.
You must continue on. We will hold them here.
Take the eye. It should still hold enough energy to be of use to you. I shall join you as soon as I am able.
Enough talk! Make haste and stop the Archbishop!
Okay. So now we have the Eye of Nidhogg. This can go well. Well, they said stay for. They said stay, even though it's a like 3v8. So Welcome to the Delta Quadrant, where methods are developed for mastering dragons. To this day, the sector is home to live specimens brought over from the southern continent of Mericidia. Truly a testament to the greatness of the Allagan Empire. But I regret to inform you that the matter conduit leading to the flagship is no longer functioning. According to my records, it was destroyed by a dragon, which broke free of its restraints when they failed approximately 2,369 years, 1 month, 24 days, 7 hours, and 4 minutes ago. Please find an alternate route to the Aether Chemical Research Facility. The Allagan Research Council apologizes for any inconvenience caused. Hey, buddy. So, thy journey hath lead thee to this accursed place. Canst thou hear it, mortal? The ceaseless keening of my kindred, steeped in 5,000 years of suffering. Long before the Ishgardians and their base betrayal, there lived still more wicked men whose ambitions knew no bounds. Fearful of our might and covetous of our power, they devised a means to enslave dragonkind. Their vile misdeeds did set in motion a train of events whose repercussions are felt to this day. Beyond, thou wilt find one of my first brood. Hark thou unto her words, partake thou of her pain. Think thou upon the suffering that the conflict twixt our kinds hath begot. See a dragon. Imagine being stuck like that for 5,000 years.
From these eggs did my children hatch. And once they were full grown, they took wing and spread across all the lands of Hydaelyn.
Tiamat summoned Bahamut as a primal. Trapped for 5,000 years. Doesn't want freedom. Just wants to live with her regrets until death. And with that, the 6th crystal reawakens. The blessing of light is now as it was.
Warrior of light, beloved son, the light abideth within thy heart again. Full valiantly didst thou overcome thy many trials, but glory not in thy success. For the servants of darkness are ever close at hand. Receive of me my blessing once more, and go forth to shine thy light on all creation.
Thou hast broken down the wall I built around thee, and partaken of thy mistress's blessing once more. Strong art thou, mortal, stronger than any other of thy kind. Having looked upon thy deeds, I am convinced thou art worthy to bear her light. The Covenant bound me to thee, but 'twould seem our fates were mingled from the first. Though I will not fight thy battles, I will yet lend thee my wings. Come, mortal. We go to cast out the darkness.
Mid-Ghost Former Mount Cannon. Final quest. Welcome to the flagship, Master Linkus. You are almost at your destination. Blip, blip, warning! Intruders detected in the vicinity. Please eliminate them if you wish to proceed. Lap around for you, I think it's Final Fantasy VI fans. Just 3 statues, nothing to worry about. Bloop. Warning! Intruders approaching. How'd they get up here? Area secured. Lifting access restriction to the Ethereal-Chemical Research Facility. Restriction lifted. You may enter the facility at your leisure. Ending guidance. Unknown energy source detected within the Ethereal-Chemical Research Facility. Please exercise caution. I am pleased to have been of service to you, Master Linkus. Please send my regard to Master Wedge. Deactivating. Bloop. Party. Ethereal-Chemical Research Facility. Your pursuit of the Archbishop has brought you to the Ethereal-Chemical Research Facility at the heart of the floating isle of Azazla. However, he and his knights are not the only threat for which you must be prepared. Shortly before your arrival, the 6th Imperial Legion entered the facility in search of the secret to mastering primals, and their presence will serve to complicate matters. With multiple factions and their ambitions set on a collision course, your mission promises to be fraught with danger and uncertainty both. But before we step in, I'm going to take my first break for the day. Get up, refresh the water, stretch the legs, all that good stuff. Check the weather, see if there'll be any more thunder, but I think the worst of it is past, so. Apparently I dropped 266 frames, so apologies for that. Maybe Rumble of Thunder got there. Anyways, I'll be back soon, folks. I hope you folks enjoy your break as well. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. folks, welcome back. I guess welcome back for me. So yeah, we back. Let's finish up base expansion or base patch while the thunder returns. How delightful. What the hell's the name of the trial again? Nope, not friend list. Chemical research facility.
I will crush you underfoot!
No sooner do I clear away the ground. Let's get this, shall we? Turrets, deploy! The day is yours, but we will meet again. I wouldn't be able to convince people to do the trial thing. I mean, it's Whatever. Trying to see if I can get interest for it, but no one seems to really want to, so. I got turned around. That thing is dying. Which was so simple. Which was that simple to kill him whenever you get this in your Rolo. We've been approved for mass production. Again. Here's some. Excuse me.
The champion of Hydaelyn.
Tell me, why do you despise the primals so? They are the embodiment of mortal will, of mortal desire. Plainly, you desire a foe to despise, and 'tis well that you do, for it is from the vortex of ceaseless conflict that Lord Zodiark shall be reborn.
Through the joining, the world shall become whole again. Then all shall be as once it was, as it should ever have remained.
For the glory of Lord Zodiark.
Your meddling ends here and now, warrior of light.
Not one Ascian, but two Ascian.
Darkness shall consume light. Damn this frail flesh.
You have met chaos shall reign forevermore. You'll not defeat me again.
I'll take it.
Such strength, it defies all reason.
No, I will not be bested by the likes of them. La Habrea, it is time.
Very well. Let us show these mortals the true power of the Echo. The power to break down the barriers of existence. Become one.
Well then. Didn't matter. I'm gonna let it roll.
That he might regain the blessing of light I had foreseen. But he has grown so strong in it as to deny us our power.
Let us withdraw, La Habrea. That power remains to us, at least. Impossible!
Bye, Eagle Rhythm, whatever your name was.
So, you harness the eye's power. A pity you spent it all. What will you do now, hero?
So, not even the vaunted warrior of light can unmake an Ascian without relying upon mortal contrivances.
Oh boy. The true heretics of the story.
You.
In the distant past, King Thordan and his Knights 12 fought and defeated Nidhogg. Though the victory cost them dear, they were rewarded with a great prize, the Dread Worm's Eyes, both of which have since been held in the Holy Sea's safekeeping. The eye you possess was Nidhogg's left, and long has it served as the source of the Azure Dragoon's might. As for its twin...
It's in the coffin.
It has lain here, joined to the person of Haldreth, the first Azure Dragoon. For though he learned to harness its power, he was ultimately consumed by it. Even in death, his body decays not. A pitiful end for a fabled hero. My Ascian friend, long have you and your kind sown the seeds of chaos, by teaching mortals the secrets of summoning. But if you assumed that we would meekly serve as your pawns, then you are gravely mistaken.
You would raise a hand against us?
By taking unto my flesh the soul of the legendary King Thordan, I can become a god!
Welp. Just took the whole body, turned it into a sword.
A god who knows not cessation, whose being is sustained by a millennium of fervent prayer, and the eye's nigh bottomless reservoir of ether.
What?
Your contempt for man has proven your undoing, Ascian. For my first act as God King, I do hereby sentence you to die! Gods feed upon ether. It matters not what form that ether takes. Ascian souls are no exception. With this power, I shall put an end to 1,000 years of conflict. Be they sown by Ascian, dragon, or primal. Wheresoever the seeds of chaos threaten to quicken, I shall excise them with my divine blade and bring order to the world. I have become that which you abhor, warrior of light. If you would take issue with my godhood, I shall answer you with my blade.
Become a god to destroy the dragons. How about we not? The Singularity Reactor, the final instance. Taking the soul of the legendary King Thordan into his flesh, the Archbishop transforms into a primal before your very eyes, sustained by a millennium of prayer and eyes ether. He declares his intent to rule over the world with an iron fist and for all time. Standing at his side are the sworn brothers of the Heavensward, who have likewise transcended their mortal limits by becoming incarnation of the Knights 12. Strike them down and eradicate the root of the Dragonsong War.
brothers. The time has come to call upon the true power of the Heavensward.
Fight me if you will, warrior of light. I care not. All who stand against me will be destroyed, be they servants of the darkness or the light. By my blessing shall all men be sanctified, and an endless era of peace begin. Vice and conflict shall cease to be. You reject my divinity, yet what have you to offer my people in its stead? Bitter truth? Virtuous suffering? No matter. If you believe your cause just, I call upon you to defend it with your life.
Let's go, buddy. Just one circle. So ends the Holy See.
How can this be? A millennium of prayer and the Eye's power combined, and still you stand. Who? What are you?
The Shadowbringer's foreshadowing. Still gonna let everything roll. Just kick back and watch what happens.
It is over then. I had hoped that mine would be the hand to end it. But knowing you, there was little chance of that.
Take your eye back.
It would seem the Eye has served you well.
Now he has both eyes, and he's covered in Nidhogg's blood.
Its twin. At long last.
Surely this will go well.
All that remains is to take them beyond the reach of man and dragon both. With this task accomplished, my toil shall finally be at an end.
thy fury made of thee? Let us away, servant of Hydaelyn.
Yep, let's go. Place is rumbling. Do not like.
Chief! Over there! Oi! Haha! Gods damn it, you always have to cut it so bloody close.
It would seem he has done it again.
Was there ever any doubt? Let us return to Ishgard. Our friends will be eager to learn the battle's outcome, and welcome back their champion.
Where is Estinian?
Don't worry about it. It's just Nidhogg reborn. That's no problem. We'll deal with it later. It's a problem for future us. Present us can celebrate right now.
I dare say you are the first soul in Ishgardian history to arrive in our city upon Dragonback. This scene shall be remembered for 1,000 years to come.
As we had feared, the Archbishop summoned the soul of King Thordan into himself, and thence became a primal.
But he and his knights are no more, thanks to the Warrior of Light.
Your struggles are not yet over, mortals.
Whom do I have the pleasure?
I am Midgardsormr. I have journeyed with Hydaelyn's champion and observed his deeds in the conflict between man and dragon. Tell me, children of Thordan, do you desire peace?
My people have committed unspeakable atrocities against dragonkind, even against our own. Would that we could undo these wrongs, but we cannot. Be that as it may, the future yet presents a chance to begin anew. Our nation has broken free of the shackles of a false faith, and Nidhogg shall lead his kindred against us no more. I doubt not that it will require much effort and perseverance. But 'tis my belief that in time, Ishgard will again become a place where man and dragon may abide together in harmony.
But the whole Nidhogg
I shall remember thy words. Yet be warned, Nidhogg's soul liveth on. His unbridled rage hath claimed for its vessel the one thou callest the Azure Dragoon.
Estinian.
Doubt not but that Nidhogg will call out to his brood ere long, nor that they shall answer him. Steel yourselves, for the true test is yet to come.
Come what may, we will never cease to believe. Upon the souls of they who have sacrificed themselves to pave the way for peace, we will never abandon our cause.
1,000-year war cannot be ended in a day. It may take generations. What thou dost begin, thy children must continue. Entrust unto them thy hopes and dreams, that peace may reign again, and forevermore.
Navios.
Let all here present attest that Sir Emmerich, acting on behalf of the Archbishop, has appended his signature. I do hereby declare that from this day forth, the Holy See of Ishgard shall once more be counted a member of the Eorzean Alliance. Let our nations move forward as one and stand united against the Garlean Empire.
For the future of Eorzea.
For the future of Eorzea!
Yay, they're back. Would that there was one person that could be here with us to see it.
There you are. A noble monument to a noble soul.
From here, Lord Orshaphon can watch over all of Ishgard.
It has been a long and arduous journey, and we have lost much and more along the way. Yet come what may, we must stay true to our purpose and press on.
That's right, you two. It's high time we got back to rebuilding the Scions. Which means we're going to need money! And lots of it!
That's 2.0 done.
So ends a glorious chapter in their tale. However, tumultuous days yet lie ahead for Ishgard. After 1,000 years under the yoke of the Church, the people take their first tentative steps into the unknown. And though they spy a glimmer of peace upon the horizon, Nidhogg's vengeful shadow yet remains to darken the way. Be that as it may, so long as the young commander of the Temple Knights and his heroic companions are there to guide them, the people may hold fast to hope. The hope that one day true peace will return to Ishgard, and that man and dragon may live in harmony once more. Let the deeds writ herein never be forgot, that they may inspire generations yet unborn to strive ever heavensward.
There it is. Alright, well, some credits rule. You know what? Not even going to put up the break sign. Just going to take a break, let it play. When you come back, 3.1 awaits. Enjoy the music, don't go anywhere.
Children of the land, do you hear echoes of truths that once rang clear? Two souls intertwined, one true love they did find, bringing land and heavens near. But flames that burned full bright soon fell dark. Memories dimmed by shadowed hearts. In the waxing gloom did wane the lover's moon, watching as their worlds drift apart. One soul's cry, a passion welling within. Sacrifice, a final plea to her kin. Yet this bond of hope by treachery was broke, scattering her words to the wind. Memories of blood are a song, and death an afterthought to those who fight for none alone, lying empty. Children of the land and service, why must you turn to empty bliss? Tell me why break trust, why turn the past to dust, seeking solace in the abyss. Tell me why create a circle none can break. Why must you let go the life you were bestowed? This I fear I'll never know.
It's such a good song. Well, onward we go. The 3.1.
So Lahabrea and Igayon have fallen.
I didn't think this was voiced. Alright then.
Bested by mortals in their attempt to initiate the Eighth rejoining. That they should be so complacent. And now it falls to me to deal with the consequences. Without intervention, the balance between light and darkness will begin to shift, placing our mission in jeopardy. Hydaelyn's champion has grown too strong. His might encroaches upon the realm of gods. Equilibrium must needs be restored. The time has come for you and yours to join the fray. Warrior of Darkness.
Remind me, why is there no rest for the righteous?
Because they care, Master Garland.
Of all the things they could have picked to play with, that's not a toy, you bloody fools, it's a primal!
Hello, Alexander. You get wrapped up in a side story. Pretty self-contained side story, if I remember right. Spires of deception crumble to dust, to lay bare truths long concealed. Beyond simmering shadow lieth shimmering light. After long years of estrangement, Ishgard rejoins her sister nations in the Alliance. Words cannot well express my joy. None of this would have been possible without you, my friend. Change is coming to Eorzea that will inevitably bring with it a measure of upheaval. With hard work, peace and prosperity are sure to follow. And yet, even as we look forward to the coming of a new age, we must needs be wary of old threats. The Lords of Garlemald have not relinquished their claim upon Eorzea, and we shall be forced to contend with them again ere long. And then there is a matter of our comrade Estinian, claimed body and soul by Nidhogg. If there is a way to rescue him, we must find it. Suffice it to say, the path ahead leads no shortage of challenges, but together we shall overcome them. Part 2 of Heavensward complete. I really want to... No, not for this playthrough. If enough people show up and say they want me to do Alexander, then was this the Shadows of Mach, and then the Warring Triad, I'll go through them. But for right now, I felt the Binding Coil needed to be done because it was pretty relevant, and it also fleshed out Alizé, who never gets mentioned in A Realm Reborn, hardly at all. Like, she shows up once, she shows up for like 2 cutscenes, and then it's gone the rest of the game. So I felt that was kind of necessary. The Crystal Tower is absolutely necessary to continue on past the Realm Reborn because they made it mandatory, and we all know the reason why. Because 5.3 was a thing. But these aren't really required. this wraps up what we just saw with Alexander being up with the Illuminati goblins and the goblins of Wildeshire. This is basically the finishing touches on the 6th Imperial Legion and Oz's Law. But I think we're just going to keep pressing forward with the main story, which is now part 3. Though it came at a great cost, the heroes have triumphed over the Archbishop on the floating continent of Oz's Law, thereby breaking the cycle of conflict between man and dragon. Yet the millennium of war is not soon ended, and in the wake of the Warrior of Light's return, the nation of Ishgard was left trembling, the faith of her people shaken to the very core. Fortuitous timing as always, Linkus. Tataru is about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind, then. Absolutely. You'll be pleased to hear that Rio and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Flamen helped me to escape the crystal blades and limbs of Laminsa, only then to disappear? Well, according to Rio, she crept aboard a ship bound for Radzat's Han, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. As for Ida and Papalimo, the remains of their link pearls have been found. And in Pearl Lane of all places. Rio thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, but we still don't have a clue where they went. I see. What of Thancred and Memphilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two, but it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is, we've enlisted the services of a Charlayan scholar, one of the students of Baldessian, to aid in the search, who would be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? I should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But we first must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Emmerich has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Linkus, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap we can meet with the scholar afterwards. Agreed? Yeah, let's go. In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Knight for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know. Tara acting like she owns the pub. Brain farted. I forget, does 3.1 even have a dungeon? I think it's literally like 6 quests, and that's it. Lord Commander is within. Pray proceed, sir.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities.
I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
He spilled everything.
I, too, had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
Sorry about that.
Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number question our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir, then?
Seems simple enough.
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor? Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
Yeah, we just port there and wait for you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens.
Surprised those statues aren't destroyed.
Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
The journey, at least, should pose little difficulty this time. I know little of the lands these dragons call home, this Annex Shrine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it, yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? Ah, but ere we set forth, like this time, must need to form our comrade of our plans. Very well. I shall see to my preparations. Then let us go and bid farewell to Tataru, Linkus. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. Well, we're going to Annex Shrine. Diplomatic mission at Annex Shrine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. Should your meeting with Vidolfnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with your stolen Ildashire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just so happens to be time permitting, as I said. We shall endeavor to join you, Stola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Linkus. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. Well, let no one say I didn't try. Ready then? Good. So am I. The path is long, but known to us. From Falcon's Nest, we shall cross the Western Highlands and make for the Tailfeather in the Durranian Fordlands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Yeah, you guys walk or fly there. I'll port. Strange. This is only my 3rd visit to Tailfeather, yet the first feels as though it were a lifetime ago. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army, and yet here I am, ready to treat with brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it could be to set aside the past, though it was I who first proposed recruiting Ysael to our cause. I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands, men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Icehot. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side, she fought in servants to that greater good, even unto her dying breath. And while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphino. Yet who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, yes, of course. We must press on to Onyx Shrine. If you will follow me. See, normal people would just port there, but if it's in the same zone, I'll almost always fly. Most people would spend 100 shekels to get here like 30 seconds, 40 seconds faster, but I'm just like, just fly, taking the sights every so often. Get some use out of your mounts. To each their own, but I personally like spending the 30 seconds or so flying to a place. Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Ysael. But this one I do not know. Pray forgive us this unannounced visit, Vidolfnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidolfnir. I am come as an envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed. You may speak, knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon had been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war, and now we know the truth. That King Thoradin and his Knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratatoskr, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Ysael. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Ysael once did, and we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidolfnir, join hands with us in friendship once more, before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up our peace for want of patience. Ha! Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon, my humble thanks. Shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. Never did I think to see a knight of Ishgard come to the Onyx Shrine bearing words instead of steel. Or that the Nath could show the same restraint. Too many children have fallen to their spears and muskets. Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I am surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Charlian. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alphino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. The first step of peace begins. Hi, Cryo. So, it would seem we have time to greet the scholar after all. How delightful. I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, my first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola in Ildeshire. Before we do this, I'm curious. Yeah, it's fully up. Okay. I had to check Alexander to see. Even though it should not be in that state at this time. It is. Another conspicuously uneventful journey. It would seem we are destined not to be late. Ah, Linkus, 'tis good to see you. I confess I assumed that your business in Onyx Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofnir go well? As well as can be expected. She must discuss Sir Emmeric's proposal with Hraesvelgr, of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlian guest? Has she arrived yet? She has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bench. We should be on our way. Seeing we are early, shall we wait? Back in Ishgard, what was she trying to tell me? We about to find out.
I'm terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kral, who has recently come from the Charlian motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, sir. And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown in Ilmore too in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Miss Cryle and I met at the studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Never trust Lalafels. Look at that face.
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking.
Bully Alfie.
Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
Off to Matoya. As we walk. So, what was it that Alphino said again? She was less than flattering about my technique when last we met. This time I'll have come prepared. Let us belittle my obsidian carbuncle if she dares. Do not tell her I said that. Crystal Eye is one of Master Matoya's most cherished relics. I doubt very much that she will grant us leave to lay hands upon it unless we can convince her that it is vital to our cause. You did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? I have heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured, they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread. I would get stuck on a wall.
Oh. Is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
You're right to the point.
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our Order's headquarters and the Isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryl, you too possess the Echo.
Oh, that's a thing to just drop.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our Order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance. But never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
A nod of thanks. But what if we go back and talk to her? Oh, no one ever comes around for tea anymore. No, it's always saving this, preventing that, or mending the gods forsake another. Anyone would think I wasn't good company. Yeah, did it. Oh. Suddenly battle. We had forests like these on the Isle of Val. My grandfather and I used to go for walks together when I could prise him away from his work. It was the least I could do for him, considering everything he had done for me. Taking me in when I was an orphan, raising me as his own, and giving me a name. You don't think my parents named me Cryo Baldessian, did you? Anchored may be a capable warrior, but he was wounded when last I saw him. If any beasts were nearby when he emerged from the live stream, it would have been hard-pressed to repel them. Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be able to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of an unknown allegiance. Yet even as Thancred had chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled upon his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Cryo. I have already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory. A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. I propose we split into two paths. Y'shtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Linkus and Cryo question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Loth Ast Voth and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Anyways, we had best get started. Find me when you're finished making your rounds. Alpha, no. Search for a friend of yours. Let's have a look then. No, ain't seen him around. Sorry. Pray excuse me, but have you seen this man before? What's that you got there? Sketch? Can't say I know the face. See, he's something of a warrior. I heard a tale the other day about a Hurrian vagabond who brought down a bandersnatch by himself. It was style. The way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was Bella the Bleeding Ball. Sounds like your man? Are these two married sprout? Area man? We're not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? Yeah, this guy. Did spy this bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. It was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river, to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. Lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. Oh, Mr. Thancred. We were to meet here, were we not? Oh. Like, I hear an Omega. No, it's just a hand. My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Hurrian hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chanced to see the man's face, his height and build matched Thancred's description, as did his fighting prowess. And we heard something like that too. So you have heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed rather curious description for one of his kind. You are implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead, or would he not go himself? Well, as you recall, you yourself emerged from the light stream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? Oops, wrong key. Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, as a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with a Vath, he should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Cryle, quite right. Alfie set himself up to get slapped. Given that Alphino seems to recall the details of my return so vividly, I would rather he did not draw me from memory, talented or not. Honestly, that boy. Some things never change. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Ast Vath. We must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone, come along. Great Hunters, we welcome you once more to Lothvath. What do you seek this day? We seek a man with whom we are told you may have certain dealings. How curious! I'm just tired of the godly sport and pursue mortal prey. No, he is not prey, but a friend long missing. Good. He's a friend to the Vath as well, one with whom we have traded many times. Truly, and you are quite certain it was this man? There is no doubt. The fleshly clothed in skins came to us from some isle, lost and weak. He offered meat and hides in trade. In exchange, we tended his wounds. He brought us much flesh. So skilled a hunter he was. Much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Got in a lost last Nath, not long ago, when he heard the Onward had summoned our god once more. Ravana is returned! Fridolfnir did say that the Nath had grown as before, but what could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we do part, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Go, Great Hunters! Let the Nath claim as a sacrifice! Yeah. Ravana EX cannon. I'd like to target the map.
Who else could be? Thancred! It could be Thancred! We must hurry!
Thancred 1v1ing? Well, hello there. That's how you dispel a parry.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever!
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not! So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea. It's a wonder you didn't come sooner. What with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
Well, that's a way to say hi. Yeah, hello, Thancred.
Not very sporting of you to interrupt. But so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light. For we are the warriors of darkness. Walkers of a different path. And we shall meet again.
Who are those guys? Warriors of Darkness.
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
Thancred, are you all right?
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
Yep, time to get. The vision caught me unawares, and I was unprepared for their attack, but I could hear the colony chattering all around us. They were so loud, so unbearably loud. Do you need to sit down? I have water, if it will help. We should be safe here. Our pursuers are not like to stray so far from the colony.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the live stream in the altogether. Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides. Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke?
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement. From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
May have been me.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more?
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Yeah, about that.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed warriors of darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the warrior of light, I suppose.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
Yep. That's what it looked like.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
He knew us. He knew you. Did he walk in our memories as we walked in his? Which would seem the mystery of the axe-wielding hero has been laid to rest. I should have known better than to think Thancred would ever stoop to using such an inelegant weapon. But then, how was I to know there was not one vagabond wandering the Chocobo Forest, but two? I know what you're thinking, but really, you needn't worry. It will only lend credence to my tales of heroism. Besides, battle scars are to maidens what loose morals are to gentlemen. A definite bonus. Oh, Thancred. Blessed with the power of the Echo and driven to put down Primals, despite his declaration that they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumors and attempted to recruit them to our cause. I recall no such adventurers, and I would not soon forget their like, nor would any of us, I think. One of our primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how Thancred found Linkus. Ah, the memories. It seemed like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I had a distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god. I labor to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers has been traveling the land, slaying primals without our knowledge, which would imply gross negligence on our part. Speculation will avail us naught. There is far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidofnir must be informed. The news may render her more receptive to Sir Emmerich's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony has given me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance in the search for Minfilia. Wait, Minfilia's missing? I thought she escaped with Linkus. I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence. And she stayed behind because Heidelin told her to. +1 Scion. I had not thought to see thee again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest a knight, know she hath long since departed for Ishgard. My thanks for Dolfnir, but it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who has been summoned by the Nath, has again been laid low. Truly, once more you mortals have succeeded where mine own kind did fall. You have our deepest thanks. Would that we could take credit. God fell by another's hand. Another? Revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is a cause for celebration. The Nath will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter, I have tidings for thee as well. Regarding the Ishgardian's invitation, as promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. For 1,000 years have I mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy king betrayed. Such was my lot, until a child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth, she wrapped herself in a dream, that the world will remember her deeds. For truth, she fought. For justice, she sinned. For redemption, she sacrificed, and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe, such is the folly and the glory of man and of dragon. He hath entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light. Then you accept Sir Emeric's invitation. Let it be known that I, Vidolfnir, shall journey unto Ishgard on behalf of my people. We are honored to receive your answer, and will convey your words to our allies without delay. Yep. Let's head back. It's happening, you sail, whether you were here to see it.
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another. Honorable men, to whom Sir Emeric was no hero, but a scheming patricide.
Ruh-roh.
Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood.
It's the point of wearing armor.
Honorable men whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
It's the point of armor if it doesn't stop a knife, yo. Right. Yeah, he's probably fine. He's probably fine. Don't worry about it. So you slew a handful of primals, chatted with the Emperor of Garlemald, uncovered the truth behind a 1,000-year war, thwarted a megalomaniacal Archbishop's ambitions, and then wrote home on the back of the Father of Dragons. Does that about sum it up? Fortunately, the journey afforded us ample time to brief Thancred on recent events. Right, let us not keep Sir Emmerich waiting. Are you quite well, Thancred? Yes, quite well. Forgive me. You have given me rather a lot to digest. This whole affair with the Asgardians and the Dravanians. Our friends nowhere to be found. Which would seem there is no end to our troubles. We can but face them head on, one at a time. For now, we must apply ourselves to our allotted tasks and leave the others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you as they found me. In time, we will find Ida and Papa Limo and Ophelia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we will look back on together. Pray do not misunderstand. I do not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wish that I had rejoined your grand adventure in one of its more triumphal moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is less than celebratory. But I have no doubt that we will enjoy many more glorious victories soon enough. And you may rest assured that I will play my part in them to the very hilt. I know you will. So then, to the congregation. You have returned. In this, at least, the fates are kind. Greetings, First Commander. It pleases me to inform you that Radolfnir has accepted Sir Emmerich's invitation. She has? These are glad tidings indeed. Would that the Lord Commander were here to hear them. Ah, he is otherwise engaged. Aye, sleeping off a night to the gut. What? What happened? Will he live? The Chirurgians told me he will make a full recovery, but had Lord Edmont and Lord Arturiel not been on hand when the assassin struck, he would not have been so fortunate. For a mercy, they subdued the fiend before he could land a telling blow. The attack was just the beginning, though. Not long after, buildings all around the city, including several of ours, burst into flame. Bastards caught us completely by surprise. We've been dousing the fires, but for every one we put out, it seemed like two more start up. Casualties are mounting, especially in the Broom. It's plain these fires were started by the assassin's conspirators. Until they have been rounded up, there will be no end to this. Will you help us find them? Then let us be about it. People do not want to accept the truth. Even if we had the same resources to combat the fire as them up in the pillars, we'd still be fighting a losing battle. You've seen the Broom. All them narrow streets with wooden houses crammed together. It's kindling is what it is. Louis Swat told me that a man is all too willing to let his future be bound by his past. And time after time have I witnessed how depressingly right he was. The Archbishop may have fallen, but the legacy of his predecessor endures. Just as Sir Emmerich risked his life to bring about lasting change, so too will others wager all to preserve what they hold dear. The flames are spreading. We must needs begin our investigation immediately. Witnesses must be found. Suspects must be identified. Have you been able to determine the precise location where the fires were set? Mayhap there is a pattern. If there is, we have yet to discern it. Fires have been reported throughout the city, in both the pillars and foundation. Indeed, given the size of the area affected, I think it best to divide our forces. Master Alphinaud and Mr. Shatola, I will have you take charge of the investigation and foundation. As you wish. Mayhap Tataru can be assistance as well. Man, Lincoln and me get the pillars. Oh, they'll like me up there. Only question is, will the grizzled old rogue striking a pose over there be joining us? Thancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and may I say what a pleasure it is to meet you, my lady. I'll bet. My name's Hilda. A Scion, eh? And there I was thinking I found a fellow ruffian amongst all these illustrious personages. I will remain here to coordinate the fire-quenching effort. If you learn aught of value, pray inform me immediately. That is all. While we could begin by sifting through the charred rubble and questioning random passerby, in my experience, every town has at least one individual who can be counted on to know things he or she should not. Oh, aye. The infamous Lord Emmeline did for Tom, lover of women and wine, though neither care for him that much. Say he could gossip for Ishgard. Just the sort of fellow I had in mind. Capital suggestion, Lycus. He'll be at the Crozier, most like, making an effort to be seen. So let's go and see him. Grizzled, I will accept, but old? Thancred got his feelings hurt because he got caught old. Someone once said a gentleman is rather than does, and in Lord Emmeline, I sense we have living proof. Well, go on then. Talk to the daft sod. Ah, Master Drac, I fear Lord Emmeline has once more strayed from the path. As so often been the case, his renewed enthusiasm for martial training gave way to frustration and disinterest at the first sign of difficulty. Well, well, if it isn't Lycus, dearest of all my friends, you're looking rather glum. Something the matter, old boy? Yeah, you know anything about these fires? Ah, yes, the Ossens. Dreadful business, that, and awfully curious, when you say. There doesn't seem to be rhyme or reason to it at all. Naturally, we've doubled the guard outside the manor, along with most of the other houses. Can't have the old pile going up in flames after all. Oh, and in case you're wondering why the Hopland is awash with refugees, the lower levels of the vault have been opened to those unfortunate souls who have lost their homes. Sir Emmerich orders, from what I hear. Remarkable man. Not even a knife in the ribs can keep him from his duties. Actually, old boy, if you are thinking of questioning the refugees, I should be more than happy to accompany you to the Hopland. While you conduct your inquiries, I can offer words of comfort to the distressed and despondent young maidens. Wait a moment, I know what that is. You give me one of those looks, aren't you? You do me an injustice, old boy. And I have you know, my heart yearns but for one rose, prickly though she may be. I sense you remain unconvinced. Very well. If it will help to prove the purity of my intentions, I shall gracefully rescind my offer. Now run along and catch those arsonists. That was not entirely what I had hoped for. Whose idea was it to come here again? Never mind. For our next step, I suggest we divide our efforts. While you question the refugees in the Hopland, Lycus, I shall investigate the locations where the fires were set. Would you be so good as to join me, Hilda? You know what? I reckon I would. Can't have you roaming around an unfamiliar city by your lonesome, can we? You can only get robbed blind and left shivering in your small clothes. Teleport to the highest vigil and they're all right there. Okay. Ours was one of the first homes to be claimed, but I didn't see how the fire began. It was only when I heard our neighbors shouting that I looked outside and saw the flames. We barely escaped with the clothes on our backs. Were it not for the church's generosity, I don't know what we'd do. Come, my brothers and sisters. There is food and shelter enough for all in the basilica. Helene's blessings will be upon you, Father. I confess, we were not sure if we would come. There's so many unbelievable tales these days about the Archbishop and Sir Emmerich and the Dravanians. Trust in your heart, brother, and pay no heed to the lies of lesser men. They seek only to lead you astray. Do you require succor as well, sir? Just asking around to see how the fire started. Trying to get to the bottom of this. So the Temple Knights have begun their investigation at last. Good. This madness has gone on for far too long. Would that I could do something to aid you in your search, but I have a duty to these poor souls. Farewell, and may the Fury guide your steps. So why does this guy get a cutscene? He's absolutely 500% not special. He surely won't turn up later. There was a man with a satchel. I saw him keeling outside the window, and then there was smoke everywhere. It was so hot and I couldn't breathe. I don't remember how I made it out. I suppose I must have climbed. Maybe my arm is getting better after all. Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm already here. Screw it. Finished then. Ah, there you are. Anything to share? Not really. We require more than the muddled testimony of a traumatized girl if we are to identify the culprits. While you were questioning the refugees, we inspected the scenes of several of the fires, including one near St. Raymondaud's Cathedral and another near the Tribunal. For a mercy, neither structure suffered significant damage. Some might say they were spared by the grace of the Fury. Rose might question how such ruthlessly efficient arsonists contrived to fail so miserably on 2 occasions when their target was a bastion of Ishgardian orthodoxy. Nothing conclusive, of course, but it does give one cause to wonder. Alphino would doubtless have an opinion. I guess. There we go. Captive. We should have seen the way Alphino tackled him. Good. Now that you are here, we can proceed with the interrogation. Silence will avail you naught, sir. Ah, Lycus, I was just about to summon you. As you can see, we have detained a suspect. We found this man loitering near the remains of one of the stricken buildings. According to eyewitnesses, he was also present before the fires broke out. We wished to have words. He did not, so we insisted. Let me go, damn it! You got the wrong man. My, but you reek of oil. And are those burns on your hands? An occupational hazard, I suppose. But tell me, does arson pay well? Oh, I'm a victim, you imbecile! Look at me! Aye, there you are. After a fashion. You should know that your pious patron has already spun us a delightful yarn about his pet mongrel slipped the leash and set about burning half the city to the ground. Not very noble of him, I grant you. Then these highborn types really do show loyalty to the pets. In fact, he called you a rabid and begged us to put you down. That's bollocks! He was the one that told me to keep going! Even a sinner such as me could find salvation by the Fury's work, he said. I left it behind. Tried to, with all my heart. Said my prayers every day, like a good man. But he came to me! He came to me! And there you have it. Hilda, would you be so kind as to escort a friend here to the congregation? Aye, so long as you don't mind me if he's limping when he gets there. That was incredible, Thancred. But how did you know he would confess? Well, I have seen his like before. A troubled soul, manipulated by men and power, and wielded as a weapon. I could not be certain, of course, but given the stakes, I thought it worth the risk. And if I called your bluff, must we entertain hypotheticals? What as it is vexing enough. Thank you, Thancred. Whether by luck or judgment, we have at last confirmed that these arsons were orchestrated by a person or persons of influence. I think it best that we now return to the congregation and discuss how best to proceed. What if he had called your bluff? He didn't. Don't worry about it. The Temple Knights are interrogating the arsonist as we speak. God's willing, we should have more information ere long. I cannot do Yustol's voice. If we could but determine the motive behind these fires. Bit of a gambler, ain't he? Fine by me, so long as his luck don't run out. On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, I thank you all. The man you apprehended is being interrogated as we speak. Though he fell silent upon realizing that we had not turned his master, he will soon tell us what he knows, one way or another. Pardon the intrusion, First Commander. Ah, Lord Toriel. Are you come to see your father? He is attending Sir Emmerich in his chambers at present. I am. He bid me bring this salve. Now do not let me detain you, and thank you for your kindness, my lord. In times of trouble, every man must do his part. Would that I could do more. My Lord Toriel did not seem to be in the best of spirits. 'Tis little wonder, Master Alphino. His father is widely slandered, and his half-brother not yet cold in the grave. We'll find out the reason for that tomorrow. I think that's a good place to stop for the day. Tomorrow, barring anything special, around 5:15, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, continue on with patch 3.1. 3.2, probably after that too, because I don't remember 3.1 being that long. In fact, I don't even think it has an instance or a dungeon. Yeah, because that's optional, That's optional. That's optional. I think that's 3.2. That's optional. That's 3.3. Optional. 3.4. Optional. 3.5. And the one trial is 3.3, which I should probably make sure I can solo. But anyways, that's for off stream. Thank you so much, folks, for coming out here tonight and lurking, following along, watching the VODs, whatever you're doing. Really means a lot. Do really appreciate it. There is one person who, if they are streaming, yep, she's doing Eden 9 Savage. I do not mean to edit stream info. I mean to raid channel. Maybe we can distract her. Oh wait, she's on break. Damn it. Let's mute. Oh, no, she's back. Alright, let's go send her a raid and a distraction, shall we? Hey folks, again, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, morning, wherever you are in the world. Please stay safe with Rona picking back up again, or COVID, or whatever you want to call it. Tomorrow, barring anything major, which I don't foresee, around 5:15, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 3.1 concludes, most likely 3.2, probably around the same point. Again, stay safe, have a good night. See you tomorrow.